everybody? It's your boy Pitts Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. Listen, it's going down all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat. Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still. And we're going to be here all day. All day. What's going on, everybody? You know what it is. I'm your host, Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live yet again. As I told you, man, we're going to be kicking off our Women in Sports series. And who else other than one of the homies, Big G, a.k.a. Ginelle, Morgan State University, female coach, a.k.a. offensive coordinator. What it do?
What's up, guys? I'm Ginelle.
How you been, G?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. G, I'm sad that our journey is coming to a close.
I know it's been a long journey. I got a lot of great flicks.
I appreciate you, man. And, you ladies made covering Morgan State even more delightful. Like, you guys embraced me. Not only that, it became like a genuine friendship, like where you guys are checking up on me, and I truly appreciate that.
Of course, we family.
Always. But even though I ain't go to Morgan State, I feel like I'm an honorary Bear.
Yeah. Once you're part of the Bear family, everybody become family.
So G, let's go ahead and kick you off, right? And before, I know you was on before, but we did a group show. Let's do a couple icebreakers.
Okay.
So what is your favorite food?
My favorite food, chicken. Anything chicken, I'm down for it.
And I believe last time when I asked you this question, I think you said anywhere the sand is. And I said, what about Ocean City? You said, nah.
Yeah, nah.
But the question was, what is your favorite dream destination vacation, or your favorite vacation?
Yeah, I would again say anywhere where it's like water. I love water. I love scenery. So if I could dip my feet in some sand and, you feel me, get in some water, nice looking water, I'm there.
So for those that don't know, where are you from?
I'm from Philly. Shout out Philly.
So the reason why I asked you that is because, I'm saying, I'm from Pittsburgh. So when I hear when you say water, and people be like, dang, where's she from? That's that north. No, that's not up north.
Yes, people always debate with me about how I say water. I don't know.
And lastly, did you have a favorite NFL team?
Yeah, my favorite NFL team gonna always be the Eagles.
Okay, shout out home team. We sadly this week we both sitting on the couch. I'll bring the Tostitos. You bring the cheese dip. Because last week I interviewed Bowie State softball coach right before the game when we played against Houston, and I had my terrible towels on the show waving. Mm-hmm. And this week And then I'm sad.
It's come back. That wasn't nothing. You feel me? We still who we are. At the end of the day, we still got our rings. We champs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And shout out to my head coach, Mike T, for a wonderful journey of 19 years. Let's talk about you. Tell us how you got into the journey of coaching. What inspired you to pursue a career in coaching, and how did you get started?
I always enjoy helping people and leading people in the right direction. As far as football, I always kind of had an interest in football, and I believe it was 2023. Coach Sherman, who was the old offensive coordinator, he gave me the opportunity to be his assistant. And Coach Wilson accepted me for the team. And ever since, I was coaching with them, and I had a great time. I've been with them for a couple seasons, and I built a lot of relationships. I learned a lot of things, especially with the boys. It's a different perspective because obviously I'm a female.
Yeah,
So they helped me to learn a lot.
absolutely. And shout out to Coach Wilson and shout out to Coach BJ Sherman. Um, when were there any pivotal moments or experiences that shaped your path?
Um, I would say the whole idea of even working with the football team for real, since it's so male dominated, um, a lot of people think that, you feel me? A lot of people don't realize that I am a coach for the team. So people kind of think that I do other things for the team. And I be having to tell them like I'm an offensive coordinator assistant. I'm a coach, and my respect is heavy. I feel like my respect is very heavy.
Absolutely. And if you can you just, delve into exactly what your roles, responsibilities were as an offensive coordinator?
As an offensive coordinator, during practice, I would call out personnel. The boys are always going to laugh at that because of my accent or whatever, how I say the certain numbers and stuff like that. I kind of help the offensive coordinator as well as the other coaches on and off the field with different things as far as the script, our practice script and stuff. On game days, um, I'm in the booth with the offensive coordinator and the other coaches that are in the booth, and I'm kind of, writing down the plays and things that the offensive coordinator is announcing and that has said, following through with the game and just being active. But all around, I feel like I kind of helped out a lot of the departments.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure that in a male dominant field, it well I'll get to that question later. Let's talk about your mentoring and the impact. How do you approach mentoring young athletes, especially women um, who are looking to be up to you in your similar position?
I enjoy doing it. I feel like it's a testimony for me because not only am I teaching other people, but I'm also learning from other people because nobody's journey is the same. So through what I do, it's a learning experience. I'm learning and growing every time I'm mentoring to somebody else, and they're also mentoring to me. So I love doing it.
And can you share some rewarding experiences or success stories from your mentorship?
Yes. So early on, it was a couple times where, females, we're kind of emotional. So sometimes like on the field, um different different ladies, they would get, emotional, or they would have things that would have be happening outside of football, and sometimes I would just pull them aside and, get their mental right and stuff like that and tell them sometimes we just got to put all that stuff aside for the sport.
And I'm glad you said that because, just like for athletes, there's a fine balance in how you weigh those. Can you talk about that balance and how you are able to um, process it?
I feel like being on the field, it kind of makes you, because you gotta be focused, you gotta be locked in. You don't really have time to focus on things that's not happening on the field. So, um, sometimes I would get into little disputes, or, you feel me, arguments and stuff like that prior to a practice or something like that. But it's like soon as practice come, by the end of practice, I don't forgot why I was even mad. Now I'm happy again.
Absolutely. And that those are the challenges that we deal with on the day to day is being able to compartmentalize some of the outside distractions to a common to succeed on a common goal. But after that, life does go on. But you found ways to not only balance it, but succeed in that balance as well. So definitely kudos and shout out to you in that regard. I'd be remiss, we got a lot of Morgan State, folks tuned in. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to my guy Sebastian, MSU Creators, the best videographer, photographer, producer, out there. My guy Sebastian. Shout out to him.
Nope. Shout out to them.
Yeah, so when we talk about football being what appears to be a male dominant field, right? What are some
Yep.
of the biggest challenges that you face as a woman in sports coaching?
It's funny to say it, but obviously when you're a high value, when you're attractive, you're gonna draw male attention a lot easier than, you feel me, most people, especially being around them every day. So you kind of have to discipline yourself, and you got to stay focused. You got to, especially to keep them focused, you got to be focused.
Yeah, and navigating those and overcoming those obstacles, as you said, comes with a level of discipline in regards to achieving that goal and understanding the process and the role that you're playing and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
When we talk about mentors and role models, who were some of the mentors and role models that influenced your path?
Coach Wilson definitely was a role model for me because I feel like I always tell him, I feel like Coach Wilson is so humble. It doesn't matter what I bring to him, no matter how hard it is to tell him or how easy it is to tell him, he's always gonna have some advice to give, and he's always gonna remain humble. So Coach Wilson definitely was a role model for me in the process.
And shout out to Coach Wilson for sure. And I second everything that you said in regards to Coach Wilson. Not only that, Coach Wilson makes it. Um, he's definitely transparent. And he is supportive in everything that that you encounter and that you endeavor. For example, for me, the opportunity and the thoughts, a pathway of me covering Morgan State was from Coach Wilson. Um, and it all stemmed from me having him on my show one time as a guest and me sharing with him my thoughts and ideas of the way I wanted to try to share an exposure for media on HBCU athletics and the way that, he embraced my idea, the way that he supported me, and the way that he made himself available to me. Whenever, if ever I needed him, I'm extremely grateful and indebted to him for that.
Yes, Coach Wilson, he always gonna look out. He always gonna look out.
And when you're able to really sit back and under the tutelage, of a Coach Wilson, what were some of the lessons that you learned from him or others, or some of the things that you've seen him doing that you might have picked up on and may not mimic it, but add it to your repertoire to say, you know what, I'm gonna use this in the way that I feel is strong enough or beneficial for me, in your own way.
One of the biggest things I always seeing Coach Wilson doing, like I just mentioned, I always seeing him staying humble no matter what. And I feel like it added to me being humble because it really don't matter what you have materialistically or not materialistically. It's really what's inside and how you present yourself to other people. And I feel like Coach Wilson definitely demonstrated that a lot by you feel me? Allowing, you're never gonna hear about Coach Wilson's outside life, like ever. He's always gonna be private, and every time you see him, you're gonna know he's a head coach, and his respect is very heavy because everybody listens to him. But he's very reserved. He's very humble, and I feel like he helped me to learn that.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it any better. You summed that up in split. Couldn't say it any better. Let's talk your future growth and advice. What are your goals for the future, both personally and professionally?
My personal goals, I want to have my own organization, I would say. I want to mentor to younger people. I used to have a real specific audience that say younger women, but now that I kind of understand the boys a little bit better, as well, I would say mentoring to younger kids. And professionally, I got a lot of goals professionally, but as far as football goes, I'm I'm gonna get where I gotta go.
He's, she said, "I'm gonna get where I gotta go. I'm gonna go where I gotta get." Okay. Lastly, what advice would you give to a young woman who aspires to enter the world of sports and coaching?
um, the best advice I can really give is to stay disciplined because it's hard. It's really hard. You gotta really want it. You gotta challenge yourself a little bit sometimes. You definitely gotta get out your comfort zone, and I would just say stay focused and don't give up.
2025 graduate of Morgan State University. What was that like when just talk about the journey and and congratulations on earning that degree. But what were your thoughts and emotions as you realized that this chapter of your life was coming to an end?
Um, when chapters end, it's always a new chapter that's beginning. So I don't really take it as an end. I just take it as a lesson, and I'm ready for what's next.
Will I see you at any Morgan games next year?
Probably, more than likely. I'm gonna try to get there.
Let's get it. Y'all know what it is. Listen, man. Big G, Ginelle, Offensive Coordinator, Female Coach, Morgan State University. As I said earlier, I thank you. I am grateful for the friendship. I am grateful for the embrace. I am grateful for the appreciation. I'm grateful for the love that you have shown over the last 3 to 4 years during this journey. Because when I first started with Morgan, you were, so it was kind of like we've all, Jordan and Gabby and, we've all, and a host of others, we've actually like grown together through this, even though I'm not a student, like you said, I definitely feel like I'm a part of the family and, it's definitely, thank you to you guys for all the love that you poured back into me.
Yes, and we definitely appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Y'all know what it is. It's Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV. Listen, 2026, I've relaunched the podcast side of it. So all of the audio now from every show going forward will now be on podcast. You'll have your iTunes, your iHeart, your Spotify, your Google, your Apple Podcast, all your major platforms. You can hear the audio version of this as well. Again, we got our homegirl Ginelle, aka Big G, offensive coordinator, female coach, Morgan State University. You know what it is. Set the trap. The national treasure is going down. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.